we learned how efficiently and strategically they manage their flights.
Standing at the top of Burj Khalifa makes everything look so small.
So what stood out to me about Aya was the attention to engineering. I mean, you stop checking your phones and that is what you call power.
Skyline did the marketing, the buildings did the advertisement.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always dreamt of buying a Ferrari one day.
Guys, if you had to summarize the GIP in one line, what would it be? There's some things that you study that actually stay in the notebook, and then there are things that you actually remember because you've lived them. The GIP UAE was that for us. Hi, I'm Ditya Garg from the undergrad TBM batch of Masters Union, and I'm here with 3 friends who experienced this journey with me. 5 days into the immersion, it completely changed the way we look at innovation and technology and even culture. Day 1 started in the Aya universe in the Wafi city, and day 2 was we went to JLL and Kraft Heinz, right? Day 3, we experienced contrasting emotions. We went to the Ferrari World. I was super excited for Ferrari World. It was on my wish list since long. And then we went to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, and it was so hot that day. Our trip ended by giving a pitch in the Emirates Innovation Centre at the Expo City, and you got so many gifts that day. Kanishka, would you like to talk about your experience at JLL? You were totally logged in during that session.
Definitely, Ditya. Hi, I'm Kanishka from class of 2029. So, JLL is a global real estate company and a property investment firm. It operates in over 80 plus countries and manages billions of assets in real estate arena. We had a discussion with their senior leadership and they walked us through how they actually operate and how are they planning to grow in future sustainably. And then came the quiz and I won.
She had the biggest smile for the next 20 minutes.
Definitely.
While she was winning quizzes, I was totally invested in Kraft Heinz. As I am particularly interested in the F&B space, I had so many questions to ask Miss Sara, the HR director there. I had questions like, how do you balance taste, cost, shelf life in product design? And how do you decide which products to globalize or localize? Getting these answers from industry leaders right then was an incredible opportunity we got. And we can't forget the many souvenir, guys.
Right.
Yes.
Anav, would you like to talk about the networking dinner we had in Dubai Mall at Mosam?
So perfect. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Anav Jain and I'm from the batch of UG29. So we met Mr. Manoj Gandhi, the CFO of Reliance UAE, Mr. Abhinav Maheshwari, the Treasury Head at Reliance UAE, and Ms. Ruchi Churiwala, the Strategic Manager at DP World. You know, you try and connect with these people online, read about them online, and even get inspired by them. But talking to them in real person was a completely different experience for us. We got to learn a lot from them. I expected it to be more of motivational speeches or TED Talks, but it wasn't like that. We actually got to learn about their leadership stories, how things can get messy in a business, and how they tackle them. And it reminded us of how much there is still to learn for us.
Yes, let me introduce myself. My name is Pranav Nitin Mishra and I'm also from the batch of 29. So the next day we had gone to the Emirates Innovation Centre in Dubai Expo City. We learned how efficiently and strategically they manage their flights in over 130 destinations spread across 80 countries. And later we had the pitchathon where we pitched our ideas to the vice presidents about how we could integrate futuristic tech into their aircrafts. And yes, my team won and winning felt great. Later, we had gone on a tour for the Expo City in a golf cart. And after that, we had gone to the Mums World warehouse. Ditya, would you like to speak more on that?
Sure. The Mums World Warehouse was a great experience. We saw the real startup side, how it's not that glamorous the way it's shown. We saw that it's very people-oriented, detailed, and getting to see that how daily operations work was a great experience.
I like that warehouse a lot, by the way.
So now that was the educational part, guys. Let's now get into the cultural experiences we had. Anna, would you like to start with the experience at Aya Universe?
Yes, so as soon as we landed, we went to Aya Immersive Experience. We spent nearly 3 hours there across 12 different zones. So we got our Aya passports as soon as we got there. And by going through each and every zone, we felt like we were unlocking different levels in a game. So what stood out to me about Aya was the attention to engineering. It's designed to pull you off from the very first second. I mean, you stop checking your phones, and that is what you call power in today's world.
And you know, Anav, the perfect end to the day was the Dubai Marina cruise. We cruised through hundreds of buildings, 180 meters tall. The view was so pretty. People come to see that view. And the skyline did the marketing, the buildings did the advertisement. There was no need for billboards. And my day ended perfectly.
And how can we forget about the desert safari, guys? I loved how the culture was shared with us without losing its meaning. The view was amazing, and the sunset made the whole experience even better.
We got so many pictures clicked that day.
Right.
Yes.
And then we went to the Museum of Future. It felt like stepping into tomorrow. I got an AI based personality perfume. What I had to do was fill a Google Doc, and it asked questions like how talkative I am, how friendly I am, and then it chose scents accordingly, and I could see my perfume being made right in front of me. That is when technology felt personal to me. Anna, being a car enthusiast, you would have loved the opportunity to go to Ferrari World. Tell us all about it.
So perfect. That was my favorite part about the trip. We went to the Ferrari World. Ever since I was a kid, I've always dreamt of buying a Ferrari one day. Ferrari builds 13,000 to 14,000 cars annually, and most of them are handcrafted, which is why its brand reputation is so high. And you know, experiencing the fastest roller coaster, the Formula Rossa, which goes up to a speed of 240 kilometers per hour in just under 5 seconds, it's crazy to think about, was completely mind boggling.
Guys, which roller coaster was your favorite? Kanishka, tell us.
Oh, I absolutely loved Mission Ferrari. The ride was insane, and the twists and turns were so unexpected.
Well, mine was the Formula Rossa.
And for me, it was the turbo track. The shoot up was unexpected. Pranav, what about you?
I really liked the Flying Aces. I felt like it was the most intense out of all, so nothing can beat that. And after all this adrenaline rush, we had gone to the very pristine Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. What stood out to me the most was the beautiful architecture that the mosque had, and I think it had around 82 domes in
Yeah,
total.
somewhere around that.
So the architecture and even the interior inlay stood out to me. It was very beautiful.
And how can you come to Dubai and not visit Burj Khalifa, right? Standing at the top of Burj Khalifa makes everything look so small.
And does anyone of you know about the height of Burj Khalifa? Any guesses?
They did tell, but I don't remember.
Pranav?
I think it was around 830 meters.
Yeah.
No, it was actually 828 meters. You're wrong by 2 meters. That's a lot.
Guys, we need to address the Dubai Mall moment.
So we did not get lost. We
Sure.
were temporarily misplaced. I can say that because we circled around the same fountain about 4 times.
No, it was 6.
It was you guys that circled around the fountain, not me. And I didn't get lost. You guys did.
Using Google Maps indoors wasn't such a good idea.
It was a very bad idea. Guys, if you had to summarize the GIP in one line, what would it be? Kanishka, let's start with you.
For me, I feel GIP made me a little more independent and taught me how to actually navigate through the world with a little more confidence.
For me, we got to learn from the top people working at the best companies in the world. And in addition to that, we also got to experience the fun side of Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
For me, it was time management. What about you?
I would say that you learn more through experiences than through theory.
I would like to end by saying that anyone can plan a trip, but CXO access, pitchathons, industry visits. Only an institution can get you that. The GIP didn't just give us exposure, it gave us perspective. And in between the boardroom meetings, the roller coasters, and getting lost in the Dubai Mall, we didn't just learn, we grew. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.